Yo, what's good? What's going on, everyone? Hope you're having a great day. It's Neff, and today I'm going to be giving you guys a little chaos theory guide. We're going to be going through the talents that you use, the stats you want, goal of the build, how to play it, and just everything like that. Before we hop into the video, I do want to shout out my Discord. We're at like 570 plus members. There's a lot of Demon Hunter mains in there. We talk a lot about the class, a lot of cool people in there. So if you want to join, links in the description. And it's also where you can get my UI. My UI is available for Twitch subs. You can use a Prime sub or a paid sub. Either works. You can just hop in the Discord. You'll get roles automatically by the bot. It's like a 10-step process. It's really quick to install my profiles with my installer. So if you want that. Also, Twitch link in the description. One more little shout out I do just want to say, about 13% of people that watch these videos are actually subbed. So if you're not subbed and you're watching this video, or you watch my other videos and you're not subbed, I'd really appreciate it if you hit that sub button. It really helps me out with growing my channel, helps with the video algorithm, helps push this video when I get subs from a video. So if you're not subbed, hit that button. Really appreciate it. So to start things off, we're just going to go through the talents really quick. We're using Blind Fury, Demon Blades, Trail of Ruin, Netherwalk, Cycle of Hatred, Master of the Glaive, and Demonic. So obviously the Netherwalk row and the Master of the Glaive row doesn't really matter. We are using Demon Blades just so we can spend as many GCDs on Chaos Strike and Annihilation as we can. And while we're doing that, we can generate Fury from Demon Blades. This build, obviously we're running Demon Blades, so it's just going to be better with Wind Fury. And especially on fights like Halandris, that's why it's really good, because we can't get parried, so our Demon Blades just generates a ton of Fury. We are going to be casting a decent amount of Death Sweeps and Blade Dances. Not so much Blade Dance, but a lot of Death Sweeps. But we're not using First Blood. We need Cycle of Hatred to use the legendary procs to get a ton of CDR on our I-Beam. So Cycle of Hatred is a must-have. You can run Unbound Chaos. It does more damage than Trail of Ruin. But like I said, we want to spend as many GCDs on Chaos Strike and Annihilation as we possibly can when we get those procs. Blade Tempest, not very good for single target. Spends too much Fury. And we kind of want to pool our Fury for when we get a proc. So next we'll take a look at the stats. Basically you just want haste verse, you want a little bit of crit, but mainly you want about 1,000 haste. Almost, stack as much haste as you possibly can, because ultimately that's going to allow you to get as many Chaos Strikes and Annihilations as you can in that proc window. The proc is only 8 seconds, so if you have as close as you can to a 1 second GCD, you can get 8 Chaos Strikes or Annihilations in one window. That's ID. So with Furious Gaze from I-Beam and Demonic Form also from I-Beam, we're sitting at 87% haste with 30% haste baseline. So with those buffs, we're at 87% haste, and it's almost a 1 second GC. You're probably going to shoot for like 40% haste if you want a 1 second GC, but it's not really a must need. If you can get 6 or 7 Chaos Strikes or Annihilations inside these windows, you'll do just fine. So you do want a little bit of crit, because the Annihilation crits, with our 2 set, they hit for like almost 15k, and that's a ton of damage. Next, we'll take a look at the Conduits and Soulbind. So we're running Nausea. Thrill Seeker is insane for this. So like I was talking about earlier with the haste, the 1 second GCD. So if you get a Euphoria proc, which is Thrill Seeker, you get 20% haste plus the Furious Gaze and plus the meta haste that you get. You're sitting at like 110% haste at 30% haste baseline. If you get that Euphoria proc during the legendary proc, you're going to be blasting. So obviously we're going to be casting a lot of Annihilations. Relentless Onslaught must have, using Dauntless Duelist. This is mainly a single target build and legendary, but I have tried it out in Mythic Plus. I'll show a clip of that here in a second. We're going to be using Growing Inferno as well. I did try to swap out Growing Inferno for Dancing with Fate, because we are casting a lot of Death Sweeps. In single target at least, Dancing with Fate was like a 1%, 2% increase for my Death Sweep damage, while Growing Inferno is like a 4 to 5% damage increase. Maybe 3 or 4% damage increase to Immolation Aura. So in single target, I think Growing Inferno is definitely the move. In AoE, you would probably just go triple potency with the Dancing with Fate looking like this. So next, I'm just gonna kind of go through how to play this build and what the goal is. If you read the legendary, increasing the damage of Chaos Strike by 50% and its chance to refund Fury by an additional 60% for 8 seconds. With this legendary, it is possible to maintain 100% uptime on Sinful Brand if you get lucky legendary procs, which it probably won't happen, but if you get around an 80% uptime on your Sinful Brand during a boss fight or during anything, you're going to be looking pretty good because your annihilations are going to make up for that lost sinful brand damage. So basically what you're aiming to do is get as much CDR from the Lego and from your chaos strikes or annihilations. Get as much CDR as you possibly can on I-beam. So you're throwing I-beam on cooldown. Even if you're mid proc, legendary proc, just throw, if your I-beam's off cooldown, use your I-beam, because you want to keep I-beam on cooldown as much as you possibly can, because we're running demonic, and when we I-beam, you know, we'll have that meta uptime, and we'll also keep that sinful brand uptime. So if you've been watching the gameplay in the background, you notice that I've been doing that. Even if I'm mid Lego proc and my I-beam's off cooldown, I use my I-beam. One, like I said, we want to keep it on cooldown as much as we possibly can, because we want to keep that meta uptime. And another reason is because we get Furious Gaze when we I-beam. So getting that extra haste during our Lego proc is really nice. Just allows us to throw out more chaos strikes, and like I said, it gives CDR and I-beam. I'll show the opener here. I'm gonna trinket Immora, sinful brand, I-beam. Hopefully I get a proc here. I didn't, so I'm gonna meta again here. I'll I-beam before death sweep. If I got a proc here, now I'm pretty much guaranteed an I-beam reset within this proc. So even if I have the proc still, I'm throwing out the I-beam. I get another proc, blasting, pop my Immora. We're pretty much guaranteed an I-beam reset every time you get this proc. And that's going to allow you to keep the meta uptime and sinful brand uptime. We have 15 seconds on sinful brand still, and our sinful brand's about to come off cooldown. So even if we don't reset before our sinful brand resets, you know, we're fine. We can just throw out another sinful brand. Just throw that out. I-beam mid proc doesn't matter. I-beam is prio. So we got some decent procs there, but essentially that's how you play it. Just all you got to do is remember to throw your I-beam on cooldown. Even if you just got a proc and your I-beam just came off cooldown at the same time, just use your I-beam. You'll get the haste. It'll make up for the downtime for casting the I-beam. So we'll take a look at a Mythic Plus pull real quick. We're doing the double pull on Spires. So on pull, I'm just going to sinful brand the Goliath. I use my Unbound Chaos proc that I had saved from before. I I-beam. Now what I should have done, because I got a proc here, is just used my legendary proc on the Goliath and then reset my I-beam with it. But I fucked up, made a mistake, and meta'd here instead. I think I figured everything was probably going to die, and I wanted to get full use of my meta, or full use of my sinful brand on everything for the entire pull, rather than, you know, just wasting it on half the mobs, right? Or you could say I was padding, but either way, I meta'd, got another I-beam. Like I said, I shouldn't have meta'd, because I'm pretty much wasting this entire proc because I have to do another I-beam. I did another I-beam, I did my Unbound Chaos proc again, and I'm using my legendary proc finally. So at another death sweep, I don't get a reset here on the proc. Fortunate. Killing explosives. Getting Venom. So I do get another legendary proc here from that last death sweep, but my I-beam's off cooldown, so I'm going to use the I-beam over that. Then I'll go back to using the legendary proc, and I death sweeped again. Another mistake. Shouldn't have death sweeped. I should have kept using the legendary proc instead of using a death sweep there. Again, I used Immora and Unbound Chaos proc. Had a couple seconds left on the legendary proc. I should have used it. I made a few mistakes in this pull, but still ended the pull at like 50k, around there. It's not bad, not amazing, but definitely not, especially for, you know, the setup that we're using. It's mainly single target. 50k on that double pull there, not bad at all. So next, we'll take a look at a boss. So I tried saving the Urh for the damage amp here, which we did. So I meta here, use my Unbound Chaos. They're on my I-beam because I have Sinful Brand up. And now we have the Urh Buff, so I'm just gonna spam death sweeps and fish for a legendary proc, which I get one here. I'm spamming. I-beam on cooldown. Then I death sweep to try to get a new proc, which I don't. Unlucky. But still have the Urh Buff, so I'm still throwing out death sweeps rather than using the 2 seconds of the legendary proc, just spamming death sweeps to try to fish for a brand new one. And I did get one. Oh, I beam off cooldown, we're throwing it, doesn't matter. Death sweep. And yeah, we did 20k on that damage amp there. This is not bad, it could have been better. Just keep your I beam on cooldown as much as you possibly can. Just if it's off cooldown, use it, doesn't matter. Use I beam, death sweep. You don't really want to blade dance. Blade dance does fuck all damage. Fish for procs, use I beam on cooldown, refresh brand as much as you can, bam, annihilation, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, any questions, comments, leave them in the comment section below. Join my Discord, ask me anything there, I'll probably get back to you faster. Yeah, if you liked the video, found something useful, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and until next time, peace.